match for the evening. It's between MTS eSports and the Beeviling. I'm Zeller, as always. I'm joined by Dota Yoshi. How you doing?
I am doing quite well this evening. How are you?
Quite well. Quite excited to get into the last game here for today. Of course, we do have plenty of action coming up tomorrow as well. So after this, it's nice to get a little bit of rest and
5 seconds remaining.
yeah, do it all again tomorrow.
Sleep is for the weak. Who needs rest? I'm going 48 hours straight.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'd be absolutely dead by tomorrow. Actually, I'd probably be dead by the first game started, and I don't really want to be a zombie by that time.
Radiant team.
We'll hop right into the drafts. Currently, we do see the OD and the Batrider get banned out here by MTS. Nagsar and Alchemist get banned out by the Beeviling. So the IO is in the pool. We'll see if either team want to play this. We've seen lots of things with IO done today. We're quite curious to see if it gets picked up this game or if the teams will just go for something that they're maybe a little bit more comfortable with. Still have that Lifestealer in the pool as well, who's also a very strong pick.
And there's also an Elder Titan, which we've been seeing all day, and there he is, Elder Titan being picked up by MTS Esports. Last night I was watching MTS Esports. They played a very, very well team lineup of that Elder Titan. They had Elder Titan, they had Darkseid, they had follow-up heroes such as the Jakiro. They really had their team lineup completely situated about Elder Titan and teamfight presence. So look to see MTS Esports pick up heroes that complement Elder Titan, and not to mention they can play a very good mid hero. So the Beeviling, they're gonna be putting up a challenge. We'll see who they want to pick up for this mid hero to go against the Elder Titan, and whoever it is though is gonna have a difficult time because Elder Titan, that Astral Spirit, one of the highest damage output spells in the game overall.
Yeah, I mean he's so good. It's understandable why he's getting that nerf in the next patch, 6.79. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me too much that Elder Titan was picked up right off the bat. We do see the Beeviling, they pick up Bane and a Nature's Prophet. So the Nature's Prophet, of course, just gives them a little bit more global presence. But at the same time, if they get some good ganks going on the Nature's Prophet, for example, then it will take him quite a while to snowball. And if MTS Esports can keep the pressure on, then this Nature's Prophet might start to fall behind. But at the same time, Nature's Prophet provides a lot of global play, of course, but also it helps push down those early towers and allows your team to
10 seconds
maintain more map control, but also get some early gold.
And MTS Esports, they've still got a few heroes that's been commonly picked up today, such as the Lifesteal and Io are still left in the pool if they want to pick it up. Do you think Io will make it through the second round of phasing? And do you think that Beeviling, Beeviling? Do you think they will want to pick up the Io, or do you think they just want to pick up this Nature's Prophet for split pushing capabilities and then not worry too much with that Io involved?
Because it wasn't picked up in the first phase, I'd say that Io is probably not a hero they're either A, comfortable with, or have just a lot of practice with. So I'd say that they probably, if it wasn't picked up in the first phase, it probably won't be picked up in the second. Just because generally when you see an IO go through in the first phase, you see him picked up. The Chaos Knight or whatever else goes with the Wisp, goes with the IO, doesn't necessarily get picked up in the same phase. They can hold that out longer, but there's always that fear of, hey, maybe the other team will pick it up, so we might as well grab it. But at the same time, if you know familiar with the hero, then you're gonna have to play extremely well and out of your comfort zone. I is a hero that if you can't, we saw earlier today, if you just can't get the levels quickly enough, you can't start making an impact around the map, your IO is not going to be doing anything really when the time comes, and it's just going to be too late by that point.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. And we see a Timbersaw being picked up for MTS Esports. Very, very strong hero. They will most likely run this Timbersaw in that offlane. It will be up against the Nature's Prophet, depending on how they want to situate their tri-lane. I wouldn't be too surprised if they try and force that Timbersaw go up against the Nature's Prophet, because Timbersaw will have the easy advantage against that Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophets like to throw out their sprouts, get those sproutlings to come towards and attack their heroes, force them out of lane, do a little bit of damage, and then get last hits with them. With the Timbersaw, if they last hit him or start attacking him, his reactive armor stacks up He's got infinite amount of armor and regen from those tramps, and then he'll come for you and try and take you down. So I'd like to see MTS Esports try and find a way to situate himself the Nature's Prophet. The Beeviling, they're going to try and get away from that as much as possible. They may even try and just give up on that lane and maybe rotate Nature's Prophet out. I mean, that's a little bit extreme, but if a Timber Sword decides to, he can walk over the top of that Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I'm quite curious to see. I mean, the MTS Esports haven't really revealed their hand in terms of what they want to roll in terms of the tri lane. They've still got plenty of options there. They haven't really shown that they want to go aggressive or defensive. The Visage is still in the pool. I'm surprised neither team have banned him out yet. But I mean, it's a very strong choice for either team really at this point if they want to pick it up. At the same time, you know, we spoke about how Elder Titan. MTS might throw something different. I mean, I don't expect it, but at the same time, they might just put the Timbersaw mid and the Elder Titan in offlane depending on how the rest of this draft goes. I don't suspect that'll be the case. Elder Titan is just too strong in the mid lane, and there's very few heroes that can really go toe to toe and completely win the lane. But we'll see exactly how they play. The Beeviling actually pick up a Lion, which is, you know, it's a good support if you know, he's got two good disables, so this is interesting. I'm quite curious to see if they maybe want to go for some early kills or some early aggression with this, just because you can lock down some heroes for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting as Lion isn't picked up as often as you think he would be. He's got a fantastic burst, he's got the Finger of Death, he's got a nice Earth Spike, and he's got a Hex. He's on par with Lena. The only thing the difference is, Lena, she has an AoE damage spell on top of her stun. So I really like this pickup of a Lion. It's going to be very useful early game, and that Finger of Death, just a ridiculous amount of damage. 600 damage at level 6. You can take someone down from full health to about a quarter HP in a matter of seconds. Well, not even a matter of a second, a matter of half a second for the cast time. And it's just crazy. So we'll see absolute aggression, I'd have to say, coming out from that line, or else Iron will fully slow off, and he needs to get to that level 6 as fast as possible. If he can get to that level 6, he's going to hurt teams. I'd almost love to see them run the line mid. Line mid has not been shown for a very, very long time in Dota, but it can work. But unfortunately, they pick up the Templar Assassin, completely shutting down what I want.
Yeah, I actually like the Templar pick. Templar's a hero that does well against Elder Titan overall. The refraction it stops a lot of damage coming out from those spirits, and I quite like this choice. The Elder Titan, we'll see exactly, of course, how both sides play this and on who's playing them, because at the end of the day, it just come down to skill. But at the same time, in terms of just how this is being drafted, the Beeviling is actually drafting this very, very well. They've picked up heroes, for example, Timbersaw. He's really good against physical heavy lineups where you have, for example, Nature's Prophet is really good against Nature's Prophet because the Trance will just give him lots of stacks of the armor. However, at the same time, the Beeviling have picked up a Lion who deals a ton of magic damage very quickly and can also drain a lot of mana, which, Timbersaw is a very mana heavy hero. In team fights and stuff like that, that can make a difference. MTS Esports, so they've picked up a Gyrocopter, and I'm quite curious to see if this sort of indicates that they maybe want to be a little bit aggressive. Gyrocopter with that rocket barrage can deal so much damage early on. If they pick up something like a Visage and a reliable stun, well, Jakira's not really a reliable stun, so that probably won't be the case, but at the same time, we'll see exactly how they want to play this. But yeah, that Gyrocopter deals a lot of damage early on. Looks like they might want to try to get some early kills, even if it is in the safe lane.
And this really falls into the MTS Esports style though. The Elder Titan comboed with your rest of your lineup. Jakiro, you got your Ice Path that gets everyone that gets pulled into that Earth Splitter. Macropire, Cooldown, Chakram. It's the way MTS Esports love to play. They love to play these heavy team-based teams are based around the Elder Titan, and it worked for them last night, and in previous games will work again. The Beeviling, they've got a Lion. Lion can just completely counteract that. If you walk up to a Jakiro, you can just one-shot him. Jakiro can't help out in the fight. Elder Titan, you won't be able to one-shot, you'll be able to take down pretty low, and the rest of your team will pick up. But I really like the Beeviling so far. I mean, you have a lot of lockdown. You can get rid of this Gyrocopter before he does anything. Before he pops a BKB, if you can get a nice hex off and get that Finger of Death off, the rest of your team can finish him off. You can save that Fiend script for more important targets. If not, use the Fiend script on the Gyrocopter when he BKs B, and then you can use your burst damage and the rest of your side to pick off the other heroes around the map. The Beeviling, they have a really good... They need to be very coordinated. If they're not coordinated, they're not going to be able to pick off heroes and continue throughout the lineup. MTS Esports will get all their AoE abilities off and then clean the Beeviling up. It comes down to the Beeviling being able to prioritize their targets and then work their way from there. If they don't prioritize or they don't take the right targets, they're going to possibly fall behind these fights, and it'll come down to the TA's farm and their carry, who they will be deciding to pick up shortly.
Yeah, I actually just noticed that Darkseer got through every single phase, and that's a little bit surprising. Darkseer you generally see picked up, or at the very least banned out. They pick up a Sven. This is very interesting. I can't really remember the last time I saw a Sven being played without an IO on the side. But I quite like that. It does deal a lot of damage, also in an AoE. If you've got a Bane on your team as well, who can enfeeble up the enemy carry, Nightmare, a hero or two, and a Fiend's Grip, it can really keep them in place and allowing the Sven to get in there and start dealing some massive cleave. And if he can pick up a crit as well, it'll just decimate the enemy team. Especially this lineup from the Beeviling, it looks like they got a bit of a mix between both magical and physical damage, which will certainly make a difference. In MTS Esports, they're certainly, as you said, they've really gone heavy team fight. The entire lineup currently is very big on that AoE. We'll see what hero they pick last. Who do you think they'd consider? Oh, Visage. There we go. So it looks like they do want to be very aggressive in this early game.
Yeah, you kind of expect a Visage after you pick up a Gyrocopter. I mean, those two just work hand in hand. It's like a Rubik Gyrocopter. Usually, if you can, you'll get a Gyrocopter, Rubik, and Visage. That's one of the scariest tri-lanes in the game at the moment. So Visage being picked up should kind of scream aggression. We'll see how they want to, if they will go for that aggressive tri-lane or they want to play it a little bit safe. I'd like to see him go aggressive, because against a Lion, Sven, and a Bane, you need to be aggressive. You need to shut down that Sven. Sven is ridiculously item dependent. You need to get drums up usually on him for that extra mana, for the extra strength and that speed aura. Then you usually go for a BKB, and then you go for a damage item. So you need 3 items. Well, you need 2 items, and then your third item is your damage item, and it takes a while to get there unless you can get that farm. If you can shut him down early, you can cause havoc in this tri-lane in aggressiveness. He's just going to be dead weight. He's going to have a Stormhammer, and that's it. When the rest of the team will have to pick up the slack and try and help him through the game. But if he can get the farm, that's when he'll be a very, very heavy threat against MTS Esports.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, definitely. And let's introduce the players and the teams here. On the side of the Beeviling, actually, nah, they're gonna back off. Okay, no engagements. We do have the captain of the Beeviling. It's WeeBD on that Sven. Beeve is playing on Lion. Judy is on the Bane. In the mid lane, we do have DMAC on that Templar Assassin. And last but not least, we've got Prospect on Nature's Prophet in that off lane.
And over on the side of MTS Esports, Dark Horse will be ran on that Elder Titan. You have Skitzer, where we played that Timbersaw. You've got God is Dead, also known as Noonie, on that Visage. You have Ander on the Jakiro, and finally, Andytron is on Gyrocopter.
And they have gone for that aggressive tri-lane, so yeah, they're going to look to pick up these kills very early on. They're going to try to shut down the safe lane of Beeviling as much as possible.
And they've already got those camps already warded. They've got an aggressive lane ward here, so it just shows you how aggressive they're planning to be at the moment. Ander and Beeve, they're just staring each other off. They're not doing anything. They're just walking past each other quite casually. And now the sentry wards come down. Ander and the Visage are coming around. They've got to instantly counter ward that sentry, and that's gonna hurt. What is that? That's 75 gold down the drain. No, that's 100 gold down the drain, because a nice counter ward blocking off that creep camp. And that's just Beeve. He's not going to be able to do anything about it. He needs Judy to come along to come counter with that. They know there's a ward down there, but it's in such a hard place to get to without knowing specifically where it is or what ward is blocking off your camp.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate they just dropped that there, and they didn't quite scout far enough to spot it and be like, oh, we've got to kill this off quickly before they just kill off our ward. I mean, they know that there's one around there now, and it is a sentry. It's not a observer, but yeah, they've already lost the sentry for it, and if they have to be very careful not to lose another one, otherwise this camp's going to be blocked for such a long time.
And in mid lane, that Timbersaw causing havoc against Templar Assassin already had to start working against his Tango charges, falling quite low. Unfortunately, Skitz has got no mana to be able to follow up there, but he's already doing a lot of harassment. Both mid lanes have their bottles being delivered to him on the courier at the moment, and at the moment, D-Mac, he desperately needs this bottle so he can start getting those refraction charges up, start pulling out a lot more harassment to Skitzer. But then Skitzer, he's going to get the bottle, he's going to get some mana, and he's going to start dishing out the pain.
And in the top lane, we do have the Elder Titan who ended up going into there, did not go for mid, and this is still a good choice. He does get the extra, the stacks from his Astral Spirit from the Treants that Nature's Prophet summons, which is, it really helps him. It gets more damage, just able to easily last hit much more easier. It's already pretty easy for him to last hit as is, but yeah, it certainly does help him.
And Skitzer, he picked up a Invisor and walked in middle, did a little bit of damage to D-Mac, got a little bit too far, took a few tower shots and took a little bit of damage. Actually down on bottom, God is dead, he's pushing, he's like, Stormhammer comes out, will they find the Brain Sap? They will find the auto attack and Bane will pick up the kill, and it got a nice Ice Path onto 3 heroes. He gets hit by the Nightmare, they're setting up, there's not enough mana by the Sven, and the Nightmare will just be dispelled. But they did pick up the first blood, and Sven's going to be happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, MTS eSports, they wanted to put on the aggression, they wanted to get the early kills, and now the Beevilings, they've picked up their first kill and first blood, so that's actually quite a big deal. And I'm quite curious to see if MTS eSports, if this just makes them a little bit more passive now that they've given up that first blood, if they continue to just try and put on that aggression.
I mean, God is dead, he got a little bit out of position. He was standing so far away from the rest of his team. They just took advantage, they came towards him, and they just zoned him out. There was nothing he could do. Sven's just threw out a Stormhammer, and that did surprisingly about 1/3 of Visage's health, and they just easily auto-attacked him down. I mean, they're not the ones that want to be attacked. They want to start attacking. You need to start looking for this Visage possibly send something up, and this Gyrocopter, and then followed up by Andytron. But instead, they got taken advantage of. They were on the retreat because the creep wave was pushing into them, and then they got capitalized upon.
Yep, and Dark Horse in his top lane just being very aggressive with those spirits, getting as many hits off on creeps and whatnot as he can. Taking it quite far out actually as well. But yeah, I mean, if you look at last hits at the moment, Dark Horse is doing quite well. He's on 26-5, and I think there'd certainly be a lot of Treant kills in there as well. Gyrocopter as well, doing very well, despite the fact that they gave up the first blood. Of course, it wasn't Andytron who did it, but nonetheless, it did have to push them back just a little bit. Templar Assassin doing, well, not as good as the Timbersaw in this mid lane. It's just sitting on 13-1, whereas Skitzer, he's sitting on 20-9, so this is looking a little bit tough for D-Mac.
And this Nature's Prophet, he's just had to ferry in some more tangos to him. He's been constantly buying consumables because the amount of aggression and the amount of damage that Astral Spirit provides, it's just hurting him. I mean, he's having to consistently last hit under his tower, so he's missing last hits. He's only 8 for 2, and that's constantly because Dark Horse is keeping this lane pushed out, doing a lot of damage to the tower. It's already down to half health. If Nature's Prophet ever leaves this lane, Elder Titan's got to pick up an easy, early first tower kill of the match.
And if they do set that up, if as you said, Nature's Prophet moves out, if he moves that down into a different lane to gank or something like that, they might be able to capitalize and kill, but I think Dark Horse would see that and react instantly and stuff.
Down bottom lane we have a Stormhammer going down to Andytron. He's going to start fighting. Soul Assumption is starting to be charged up. Gyrocopter is pulling off his rock barrage, not doing too much damage. He gets hexed up, and then Beefy, his stun is on cooldown. Can they chase him down? They got no stuns available to him. Judy's Nightmare is on cooldown for another 4 seconds, but God is dead. We'll get out of there, and both sides will back off. MTS eSports, they look to get aggressive to challenge that pull, and the Beeviling just said, no, we're not going to have any of this, forced them back, and just did so much damage to each and every one of them. Unfortunately, they couldn't focus fire any heroes, but they did a lot. They forced them back, and let's force Skitza's rotation down bottom. Will Skitza be able to change anything? He's got a regen, he's got a chakram, and will they be able to do it? Nighttime vision's up, so they do know he's here. There is a ward here, so that's a little bit unfortunate. They're going to sit back and play it a little defensively, sit behind this tower, and wait for him to come in. They do have TP support from that Nature's Prophet, and that Tempo Assassin doesn't have any TP, unfortunately. Actually, did she just pick one up? No, she didn't. But if needed, Nature's Prophet can come in. They can try and turn this fight around.
Yeah, the thing is, the longer Skitza waits it there, it's going to get dewarded. The longer Skitza waits here, it does allow Templar Assassin also to just sort of come back a little bit in terms of those last hits and whatnot, which he already taken a little bit of advantage of. The difference isn't as much as it was before. And that's it. That's not a huge deal, but it is decent
Dire's
enough.
middle tower is
It looks
under
like
attack.
Skitza though wants to go in here on D-man.
He's doing a lot of damage. He's starting to burn down the Refraction. He's got one more charge. Refraction is gone. Refraction's not up for another few seconds, but he does have a meld if he needs to meld. But he doesn't want to have to meld into a Chakram that's just going to consistently sit there. He's still chasing down DMAC. DMAC just walked around. He pops out Refraction. He should get out of it pretty well, but he's turning back around. This could be a bad choice, but Skitza's not going to dive in on there. I feel as if Skitza wanted to go in there, he possibly could have found the kill, especially with Chakram being able to burn down that Refraction charge quite fast. I think it does damage every 0.5 seconds. Damage every second. I thought it was 5 seconds it ticks, but every second you can burn it down quite easily. A few auto attacks and some creeps will just get rid of that quite easily.
Yeah, currently DMAC does not have his bottle. I believe it is on the courier. Yeah, it's just hitting his way now. And yeah, so he's had to like just sit back a little bit, unable to really go for too many last hits at the moment. Oh, Timber Chain just misses. Skit's still going in though. Finds a kill.
That Whirling Blade. Whirling Death, once that hits a tree, pure damage all around. It just hurts. 250 of pure damage. That is, what is that? That was also about 1/3 or 1/4 of TA's health, followed up by a few additional skills. We'll just completely clean her up. But it is 1-1, and if you do want to have a little look at the gold graph, it's already 3.5k favor in terms of MTS eSports, and the XP is only 2k, but that's still a fair amount. At 9 minutes in, it just shows you how much MTS eSports are controlling their lanes, how much they're able to farm and get out of these lanes. Like down at bottom, an aggressive trial and gyrocopter, 46 for 16 up against the Sven, 6 for 6. That is ridiculous, to put it simply. I mean, Sven, he did get an assist, but that's not enough when it comes to the start of the game. You need these creep kills, and if you're being zoned out, which MTS eSports are doing quite well, that's going to hurt you into this mid game, especially once Gyrocryptor picks up his first big item. I mean, he's looking to have a BKB at 17, 18 minutes. If he can have that, if he goes for it, Sven's not going to be able to do anything. He needs that Stormhammer stun. And actually, the Ando's rotating in. BV, he's going to go in. Stun comes out onto Andytron. He gets hexed up. Will they be able to change stun? We've got a Spike stun coming out. We've got to follow it up. Rocket Brush doing a little bit of damage. The Ice Path holds him into place. Wrath of Nature comes on through. And now, WeeBD, he's on the run. But they will pick him up. Soul Assumption was not necessarily used. It was an auto attack. And now, Judy. He doesn't have enough mana for that brain sip. He's trying to auto attack him down. The stun is going to miss from Beeve. And now, Ander, he's going to take advantage. Jewel Breath will pick him off. Visage is still on the run. Still not enough mana to use that brain sap. And then Soul Assumption gets turned around. Jakiro will fall, however, so it's a 2-for-2 trade. Skitza, he wants to even it up. He wants to make their side ahead. He cancelled his chuck, and he's still chasing down Prospect. Prospect takes a lot of damage coming out from Skitza. And now all this TP in. Nice Stormhammer keeps that Nature's Prophet alive, and they do find a return kill. So they come out ahead, and MTS fall behind in that engagement. And luckily, WeeBD, he comes back. He doesn't pick up a kill, but he got 4 assists out of that, and 4 assists is still quite welcomed.
Yeah, I mean, Nature's Prophet, he barely got out of there. I believe the Timbersaw, being played by Skitza there, he was just about to chuck out the tracker, and the stun came at a perfect time, blocking it long enough for them to deal enough damage to kill him off. It's amazing plays there, just perfectly timed.
And this Dark Horse, up on top lane, he's got so much fun. He's 90 for 8. Sure, some of those are... Oh, actually, down at bottom there's a cooldown being used. Warcry is used to try and run, but he gets Grave Shield, throws out the Stormhammer. Soul Assumption, not enough to pick him off. They can't find that final auto attack. They turn into God is dead. The Jewel Breath will land onto Beef. Soul Assumption will find the kill onto the Lion, however. And Sven, he's already on the run back. And this could be the first tier 1 tower of the game. They have more than enough damage, especially with those familiars and the liquid fire coming out from Jakiro.
Yeah, he should be able to grab this tier 1 tower. And that is a big lead, and it also forces Sven to have, well, he has to be a lot more careful now when he's trying to get farm. He's only sitting on 13 last hits still, which is very, very low for this stage in the game, and when you've lost your tier 1 tower, you can't farm as easy. At the same time, you know, Skits is pushing out this mid. He won't get this tower, but at the very least he'll back off until, well, looks like we did see some lines being drawn on the map. Looks like MTS want to rotate into mid and get that tower as well. Currently not really being defended. We should probably see some TPs going there soon.
Yeah, Skitzer, he did go one-on-one against the TA. TA got instantly burst down before she could pop off that refraction charge, and Skitzer came out on top with like next to no effort at all. And now he's giving his bottle away to Andytron. They're gonna share it up a little bit, give the bottle back, and they will hand it back. So a little bit of a cutesy play going on there, sharing the love. And now it looks to see will be a 4v5 engagement. And if this happens, MTS Esports, they are favoured because they do have this heavy team AoE composite lineup. And it just comes down if they can pick them off. A Stormhammer comes in, it only lands on one. Dual Breath, not Dual Breath, Ice Path lands on the 3. Cooldown doing a lot of damage. Chakram finishes a lot of heroes off. Split comes through, finds the final kill, and that's 4 heroes gone. And now the Nature's Prophet, he's looking to die. Chakram comes through. Will this be a team wipe? Skitzer goes flying through, finds the last auto attack, and that is a team wipe going in favour of MTS Esports.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That is huge. They also got a tower in there. I mean, this is not looking good for the Beeviling. Tier 2 tower might fall here as well. Nature's Prophet still quite a long time before he respawns, and they're not looking to defend it. They are going to just back off. Looks like MTS Esports are going to just probably rotate into top, get another tier 1 tower, and this lead that they have in the first 13 minutes, it's already at 10k gold. Experience, I mean, not as much, but 10k is huge. You know, you have your Elder Titan who's already got his mechanism. Of course, he has his Soul Ring from earlier. Gyrocopter he's got something on the career. I guess it's just the Ogre Club for now, but it does look like he's going to go for that BKB early, which he should do, considering the side of Beeviling have so much disables. But this is such a heavy lead.
And heavy indeed, and this is going to put a lot of strain on Beeviling. I mean, Sven, he's still not farming, he still doesn't have his full boot yet. That poor carry, you usually never see a carry this starved for gold. But that's just one of the problems with Sven. He doesn't have that capabilities of being able to flash farm. He doesn't have the ability to get decent farm when you're in the lane if you're up against another aggressive tri lane. It hurts. That's why we don't see Sven picked up too often, is because it's just so hard to get farm on him. And Skitzer, he was looking for a kill there. He missed the Timber Chain, but it was probably for the best. If he'd gone down there was the entire side of the Beeviling, and they would have picked him off without a doubt. And now we're going to see a fight over this tier 2 tower. The glyph has been popped. Fiend Script is still not up yet by Bane. Skitzer's running away from it. We have the Earth Split coming through. It's going to not land on any heroes. Cooldown is being used defensively, but it does land on Judy. And then the instant death of that line now, Beadmac. He doesn't have any refraction charges. He's been fired under the tower. Macropi doing a lot of damage, and they all fall. Sven, he's already got his tail in between his legs, running back home. And there goes the tier 2 tower.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, and that's 4 for nothing. The Beeviling barely did any damage to them in that engagement. I mean, most of the heroes, and that's a lot thanks to that, due to that mecha. Actually, it wasn't even popped. Yeah, it probably, I believe it was popped in there. But it just, no matter what sort of engagement the Beeviling have, that mecha is going to heal them up, and they'll be able to just potentially reverse the engagement, or just continue just bashing down the enemy team.
Now they're looking to chip up at the top lane. Nature's Prophet's already TPing out. He doesn't have a scroll on him, so he's not going to be useful. It's 4v5 fight, and if MTS Esports notices, they should know to force the attack and continue to force it. I mean, sure, they might lose a tower. Instead, they got a TP. There's 2 TPs coming. They're going to chase him down. We have a great jump in from Skitzer. He throws out that Charkham. One willing death, and he should find a kill. He doesn't even need it. He needs to chain to him, and they will find another kill. And Nature's Prophet, he tried to be cheeky, tried to play Little Rat Dota, costed him his life.
Yeah, it does delay the tier 3 tower depth there in the top lane. I mean, if MTS decided to not just back off, they probably just could have engaged up into the base. Probably found that tier 3 tower, maybe a few kills as well. I mean, that tier 3 tower is quite low at the moment. It's under 500 health. And yeah, it looks like for now MTS are just going to back off a little bit, farm up the jungle of the side of the Beeviling, and Sven, he's not getting any fun this game at all. He's only got his boots now. It's going to be a long time before he has his next item. And what do you think what do you think the Beeviling should do from this point?
The Beeviling, they've got some vision up, so they've got some nice defensive wards, watching rotations throughout their jungle, and that's the start. Next, they should try and possibly try and find some counter wards. I mean, some very unusual, well, not unusual, but not predictable wards are coming out from MTS, so they can't counter ward to remove some of their vision. But they just need to kind of split push. They need to try and delay as much as possible, because Sven, if he can get the farm, it's more useful on him than anyone else in this game. I mean, if Sven and the Gyrocopter had the same amount of farm, you'd count Sven as the winner of that. And I mean, at the moment, they're going to walk 4 men into the Roshan pit. Nature's Prophet does have TP, but there's no Wrath of Nature. One of their big AoE damage spells. They're going in for the fight. Stormhammer only hits on 1, and that's a problem. Cooldown's coming down. It's going to land on a few heroes. Jakira's now dead. Sven's taking a lot of damage. Sven's going to just be auto-attacked down from the heroes of MTS Esports. They chase away Big Mac, or D-Mac I should say. They do find that poor Juddy in that backlines. Elder Titan does pick up a double kill for it. Rockets come flying on through. He does have a meld. Nature's Prophet apparently TP'd into the group and just got instantly taken down by Timbersaw. And what an unfortunate timing to pause.
Yeah, looks like he had a minor issue there. Not sure if he misclicked it or if he got a spike, but D-Mac as well will fall there. That's a triple kill for Skitzer.
But
They're
yeah,
just gonna continue pushing into this tier 3.
it looked a little bit uncoordinated there by the Beeviling. I mean, your Stormhammer, it's an AoE stun. You don't want to use it on just one hero, especially since you'd already used your Impale or your Earthspark, I should say. I'm thinking of good old Nyx Assassin. But if you use your Earthspark and you've already hit him, you don't want to stack up your stun, especially since it's a great AoE stun. They used it on one hero, and then MTS Esports just said, there's no stuns left to kill us, we come in, we'll roll over the top of you. And that's exactly what they did. Nature's Prophet came in late, he didn't have his Wrath of Nature, so they lost one of their big AoE spells on their side, and, well, it just went bad.
Yeah, that is a Rax in the mid lane here. MTS Esports taking a huge advantage, and this is tough for Beeviling. I mean, they won't have a hard time coming back from this. I suspect that it's probably going to be GG very soon, especially if they rotate into... Actually, they're going to have to push out one of the lanes. Actually, yeah, they're going to rotate into top and then push it out. Actually smoke up for it. Interesting. Just for the movement speed, I guess?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not too scared of coming around or in any rush to come back and fight the Beeviling. I mean, at the moment, all they just need to do is just keep up what they're doing. Stick together as 5, push together as 5, and then win together as 5. And at the moment, there's just no pressure coming from the Beeviling. Because, I mean, Sven, because he's so far behind, he's got a Stormhammer. And if he doesn't time that Stormhammer correctly, he does absolutely nothing in these fights. And that's what happened previously. So, they just need to try and wait it out as much as possible. But I think it's getting close to the point of no return.
It is looking hard here for Graveling. Sorry, Graveling. Beeviling. The engagement at the rush pit, it was just a little bit unfortunate. If they were, a few seconds quicker before that Aegis was picked up as well, and MTS had a chance to react, because by the time that Beeviling had arrived, the rush had fallen, they'd got the Aegis, and they were able to quickly reverse it. If they were, 5-10 seconds earlier, then maybe it would have put MTS in awkward positions where we have to sort of engage, but rush is very low at the same time, and maybe the fight could have gone a little bit differently. But at the same time, as you were saying, a lot of that stun was used up on...
Crown's coming down, Split instantly pops that Nature's Prophet. Gyrocopter's in, finish them off, he picks up a triple kill of his own, he's turning around to D-Mac, he doesn't have the Aegis so he's going to retreat. Gyrocopter throws down that Macropie, throwing down a little bit of cover fire, and Skitz is coming in, and there's the GG code. The Beeviling will tap out of this game, MTS will take game 1 of this best of 3 in the defense of the Australians.
tried to put the aggression on, and instead it was the Beeviling who managed to capitalize on their own. But unfortunately, Sven just wasn't able to get much farm. The rest of Bane never really got his phase group. He ended up only being level 5 at the end of it, and just MTS just started to snowball, move around the map. Just great coordination and team play.